Right. Good afternoon to everyone. So first, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of Anglia Ruskin University and also on behalf of Oxford College of Business, learning partner for ARU in Sri Lanka. So we have invited you today to take you through the induction program of Arden postgraduate provision. So I'm going to take you through a relatively short presentation. So when I take you through the slides, if you need any sort of clarification, you can interrupt me at any point. Those who are joining online, so you can just click raise hand option and then come up with your question. All right. So once we finish certain slides, I will always ask whether you have questions. All right. Right. So today we are going to cover Master of Business Administration, MBA General, MBA Entrepreneurship, MBA Finance, MBA Banking and Finance, MBA FinTech and Data Analytics, and also MSc International Logistics and Supply Chain Management, MSc International Business, and MSc Brand Management. So we are going to cover a number of programs, but most instructions are almost the same, except one or two slides. Everything is going to be common information about the course, its delivery, and how you are going to work with us for the next coming 12 months. Okay. So about Oxford College of Business, which was established in 2003. Since then, we have been working with British, Australian, Canadian universities. So we have the expertise in offering British, Australian, and Canadian qualifications for the last 20 odd years. So right now, Oxford College of Business work with Anglia Ruskin University. That is the university you have selected to do your master's degree. And also we are partner to University of Bedfordshire, UK. Both are public universities. And Arden University, UK, another UK university. University of Canada West, it's a Canadian university. University of Hertfordshire, and under professional qualifications, ABE UK, OTHM UK from level 3 to level 8, doctoral level, and Confederation of Tourism and Hospitality. And also we are a partner to PSP Academy Singapore. So we operate in two locations. One is here at Thurston Road, Colombo 7, and also we have a branch office about 1.5 kilometers away from this place at Amarasekara Mawatha. So generally undergraduate programs are conducted there. So I'm sharing you the academic achievements of the last 3 examination boards right now. So last 3 examination boards in the sense for the last 6 months. Right. So this is the MBA program progression. So out of 1,143 students, 91% of students have passed in the very first attempt. So this is the very first attempt. And about 6.1% they have failed in the first attempt, and they are given another opportunity which is given to students free of charge. We call their resits or retakes, and that was used by 6.8% of students. Retake means the students have failed the unit and then they are asked to pay and do it again for the last time, and that percentage is 1.7%. So the exit student awards, that is 1.2. Exit awards means they are unable to complete the master's degree and they are asked to leave from the program at different stages due to various grounds, mostly because of academic concerns, academic offenses. Okay. So, I mean, compared to even the on-campus students there in UK, we maintain a very healthy and very high pass rate. And the A and B passes altogether, we have 44% of students achieving A and B passes. And in UK, it is actually 33%. In the MSc program, out of 304 students, you can see 296 students have passed in the very first attempt. So pass rate is 96%. And the exit award rate is 0.5. And basically, these statistics show that as a teaching center, we are performing better than even on-campus students there in UK. The reason for that, we always say 2 reasons. One is the caliber of the students, because at OCB, we have mature students where they have got a lot of work experience in addition to their other qualifications, because master's level is more or less application of theory rather than by-hearting and recalling them at exams. So therefore, as most of you have got work experience, you are in a great seat to apply theories to given situations. So that has contributed us to achieve better grades, and also the faculty we basically provide you. So they are not only full-time academics, but they are professionals who are working in the corporate sector. So most of your tutors, they teach you what they practice every day in their organizations. Therefore, in addition to theoretical understanding, you are given an exposure to the practical relevance of the course content as well. So I'm not going to take you through the all resource persons engage in your programs. But when it comes to your subjects, I will tell you who you're most likely tutor for respective units. My name is Danushka Kulatilak. I am Director Education and Administration at Oxford College of Business and also Senior Lecturer in Business Research and Psychology-based Business Research. So all my colleagues with a minimum qualification of a master's, many of them have doctoral qualifications and have been teaching and working with us for the last so many years. So later on, when it comes to your subjects, I'll tell you who your most likely tutor is. Okay. I don't want to take your time to introduce all faculty. In terms of national recognition, so you know that Anglia Ruskin University is a recognized institution by University Grant Commission in Sri Lanka. I'm sure at the time of registration, you must have received the document issued by University Grant Commission Sri Lanka, which is heavily used in Sri Lanka as a marketing tool. I'm an academic, I'm not a marketer. So it is heavily used in marketing purposes to convince the students that this program or whatever the program is recognized in Sri Lanka. So, I mean, it's an important document because UGC basically recognizes institutions based on two criteria. If the university is listed in the Association of Commonwealth Universities or International University Yearbook, they basically recognize that as a proper institute to offer degrees in Sri Lanka. So, Anglia Ruskin University is a public university in UK listed in both. That is why they have issued the letter. Actually, this UGC letter will be important for you in the Sri Lankan context. Perhaps sometimes if you want to do a master's degree in a national university, they might ask whether your master's is coming from a UGC recognized institution. If you work for the public sector, sometimes they might ask you whether your master's is coming from a UGC approved institution. But in the international context, UGC letter is not relevant for you. There, what is important is whether the university is recognized in the UK itself. Because there are instances we have seen that the institution is recognized by UGC Sri Lanka, but they are not recognized by the country where the university is located. Because if you take these two lists, are not very difficult lists for an organization to go for. So therefore, we have to look at the reliability of the university based on the accreditations the university has got in the country where it is located. So Anglia Ruskin is a public university in UK, so fully accredited university, and also it is fully monitored by Quality Assurance Agency UK, QAA. Therefore, your qualification is recognized and respected around the world. Okay. And Oxford College of Business is ISO 9001-2015 certified organization for quality management, and also ISO 37000 and ISO 14001 for environment management, ISO 21000, that's a standard for education management itself. We are the first institute to receive ISO 21000 standard in Sri Lanka, and ISO 45001 and also SL standards for COVID prevention management. So let's go to the Anglia Ruskin University, the university you have selected to do your master's degree. So in UK, we have got 4 campuses at Petersburg, Cambridge, Riddle, and also Chelmsford. Anglia Ruskin University has got about 30,000 students at given any time as on-campus students. Yeah, so it's a relatively big university. So in terms of QS World University Rankings 2025, it is 341 in ranking in Europe. And in 2023, under Teaching Excellence Framework, you know, the famous TEF. So Anglia Ruskin University was recognized as the University of the Year. So Gold Rank University in 2023. So you can see by the Times Higher Education has recognized Anglia Ruskin University as the University of the Year in 2023. And also the Queen's Award Anniversary Award Prize in 2021. So therefore, whatever the league table you take, so Anglia Ruskin is there in, you know, compared to other universities, well in front, right? And if you take in terms of research, we are a very active university in terms of research publications. So published over 12,000 scientific papers in recognized and quality journals, and nearly 300,000 citations in the research published by us, and ranked 5th university in UK for high graduate employability. And also we have got very well experienced faculty in UK as well as here in Sri Lanka. And also we have diverse student population of having about 35,000 students across its 4 campuses. And in addition to that, they have students in their teaching centers in Sri Lanka and also in few other countries as well. So Anglia Ruskin University, as I said earlier, we have a diverse student population. The students are coming from various parts of the world to follow programs at ARU and having about 35,000 students on campus. As I said earlier, it's ranked number 5 for high graduate employability because our courses are very much in line with industry requirements and also according to the professional bodies. Therefore, many of our courses are recognized by professional bodies to get exemptions as well as for direct entry for certain levels. And so as I said earlier, so very active in research and the publications go over 12,000 with about over 300,000 citations covering diverse fields, including management. And also, we are very much committed to sustainability. And in addition to our courses, which promote sustainability, so as an university, we have taken a lot of initiatives to promote sustainability, even as a learning partner. Oxford College of Business is also an ISO 14001 certified organization for environment management. And also, our annual report has been recognized as the best in sustainability by Corporate Citizens Award ceremony in Sri Lanka as well. Therefore, we are very much committed to sustainability, including ESG. And also, we have state-of-the-art facilities, with a lot of online resources for students learning here and also students learning in UK itself. So today we are basically covering these programs, MBA General, MBA Entrepreneurship, MBA Finance, Banking and Finance, MBA FinTech and Data Analytics, and also MSc in International Logistics and Supply Chain Management, International Business and Brand Management. Okay. So if you take the programs we work with Anglia Ruskin University, we offer you a greater study flexibility. Now, if you take the program offering is on a blended format, so the students who are willing to come for physical classes, so you can attend the class like this. And at the same time, those who find it difficult to come for physical classes, they always have the option of joining the class through online platform. So, and we have taken a lot of initiatives to give a better online experience, giving you proper pictures from here, and the control rooms are there to make sure that the student receive proper audio and video inputs. So therefore, as an institution, we have taken a lot of effort to make sure that whether you are online or offline, that you receive a better learning experience. And also, we're very flexible in terms of giving you the opportunity to join classes, both physical and online. And in terms of choosing your specialization, so you can select your specialization according to your chosen career. So you have a range of MBA programs, general, finance, banking, and also fintech and data analytics, entrepreneurship, and also MSc 3 specialization. So then you can select the program according to your chosen career. And also the learning outcomes are based on very practical learning outcomes, and the content we deliver you are very much current and very much updated. So we never teach you something outdated. Whatever we discuss with you in your classroom, that you will be able to apply just outside the classroom. So I can guarantee that we don't teach anything outdated. We update our curriculum every block. So what we teach you this particular block, a subject, next time, so we update it to meet the industry requirements and so on and so forth. Therefore, the materials as well as the assessments and everything is updated when you go for the next block. So therefore, very current content based on practical learning outcomes. And also all the faculty, they offer both academic knowledge and also industry experience. So that basically helps you to ensure that you have practical and theoretical relevance to your studies. And also practical assessments instead of exams. So this is a very important feature that I should discuss with you, because especially most of you are Sri Lankans and have been brought through the Sri Lankan education system. So we are a very much examination oriented, kind of a system is prevailing in Sri Lanka, starting from grade 5 scholarship exams, O levels, A levels, even undergraduate studies, even master's degrees in many universities, we are assessed by exams. Therefore, we generally believe the best way of assessing students, that is the general perception of Sri Lankans. So the best way to assess students is exams. But if you take in UK as well as in Australia, even Canada, So they have changed from conventional examination mode to practical assessments fairly long time ago because of some important and valid reasons. I have been teaching in UK universities for the last 15 years and working with Australian universities for the last 16 years. I've been in the system where we used to give exams in Australia as well as in UK. So prior to 2015, in UK, we used to give exams where generally, if you take a master's degree, about 60% of the marks came from the exam. 40% came from the assignments. In Australia, mostly 75% of marks came from the exam. Only 25% was allocated for assignments. So pass mark was 50%. So without passing the exam, you can't pass the subject. That is how it was before 2015. But thereafter, the both regulators, Australian qualification framework, as well as in UK, so they basically changed this into practical assessments because of some very important reasons. Just to give you an example, those days we used to give a question paper which contains about altogether 6 questions for MBA student, about 6 questions, and the students were given about 3 hours to answer, including half an hour reading time. So you are given half an hour to read, and then you answer the question where you are given about 3 hours to do that. So provided that one student studied maybe about 20% of the curriculum, 20% of the content, and it was his lucky day, and when he went for the exam, out of 6 questions, and he got 4 questions from the 20% he had studied. Okay, out of 6 questions, the students were asked to answer only 4 questions. Okay, so provided that one guy goes and he studied only 20% of the curriculum, but it was his good day, and he got 4 questions out of 6 from the 20% he had studied. So as a result, he scored 80% of marks. Another guy who had studied 80% of the curriculum went for the exam and found only 1 question out of 6 from the 80% he had studied. As a result, he scored only 10 marks. Now you can see guy who knows 80% can score 10 marks, whereas guy who knows 20% can score 80 marks if you go for an assessment system to assess students in the master's level, which is unfair. And the results do not mirror the real capabilities of the candidate. So that's the reason that the universities basically switch from conventional exams to assessments. Okay. And if you take master's level, we need to develop research skills of the students. So how can we develop all those things within 3 hours? How can you demonstrate your years of work experience? You're learning in the classroom, you're independent learning. How can you do all these things in 3 hours? It is unfair, and also it doesn't reflect the real capabilities of the candidate. So that is why the universities in Australia, UK, and many other countries switched from conventional exams to assessments. This tests wide range of skills using diversified methods of assessment, okay, to ensure that the students have got the learning outcomes at the end of the course, right? And we know that once we go into assessment-based system, there is always room for malpractices, okay? Because if you take assessment, sometimes some students can copy from others, can take some content from internet, okay, some online space. So as a university, we have taken all possible steps to mitigate such malpractices. We can't completely do away, but we have taken all possible steps to mitigate such things. Now, when you submit your assignments, you submit it through the Turnitin software, which has the capability of finding similar things. Okay. And also, if you have used any AI text generative tools like ChatGPT, Quillbot, or any other software, there are 32 softwares available to do academic work now. So AI software. So if you use any of those softwares, we will be able to figure out whether you have used AI to get your work done. Okay, so later on I'll explain you what is our AI policy, what is our plagiarism policy. So therefore, you all submit your assessment through the Turnitin software. That is one simple initiative we have taken. In addition to that, we generally don't give you very much generic questions. Okay, so we give you sometimes live projects. Live projects means we take an existing company in UK and we give you all information, and the owners of that company will tell us what their problem is, and you are supposed to analyze the problem and give recommendations where Either you or me or even the owners of the company, they don't know what the exact way that we should go for it. So very new assessment. Okay. And also, so we use diversified method in terms of assessing you. Some of your assessments are in the form of reports. Some are group work followed by reports, or group work followed by presentations. And some are online quiz. Some are time restricted exams, or some are online exams. So I'll tell you what the entire assessment system for each and every program we are going to work with you. So therefore, we use wide range of tools to test and assess the students' capabilities. Therefore, as a university, we have taken all possible steps to minimize such malpractices, even though we are going for this sort of a assessment-based system, right? Because a lot of students think exams are very difficult and assignments are very simple. Okay, so that's the general perception. Especially if you have studied in a government universities before, so you always think exams are difficult and assignments are easy. But once you start, you will understand assignments are 500 times difficult than doing an exam. Okay, it's not 200% difficult, it is 500% difficult. Okay, you will feel that exams are, you see that lollipops you can enjoy for 3 hours, whereas this is painful, you know. It's a neck pain that you are going to keep for the either 4 weeks or 6 weeks when you start your subjects, right? So after your class, this induction program, I'm going to have a class for the existing batch for their current subject, because that assignment is a little complicated. So in addition to the tutor, the students wants me to teach. So therefore, I'm going to have a session after this your session at 6 o'clock today to discuss about the assignments. And I have prepared gift for them. I always say I have prepared gift for them to read journal articles of this size. I have studied during last week for them also to read, because I'm not doing the MBA, they are doing it. Okay, therefore, so if you, I mean, don't take assignments are very easy method of assessing, it's of low quality. No, it is the right way of assessing students. Okay, so your real commitment capabilities will be tested, right? So I'm just, because I thought of just talking to you on this one, because some have got quite a negative perception towards assessments. When we say, they think that assessments are okay, few assignments we can do and so on. No, it is not. So it basically gives you the right understanding of the content you learn, and it will develop your research skills, which is very important when you work for corporate sector, especially in the strategic level. Okay. So very innovative content, and we have enhanced the student experience, giving you access to our online platform, which is very, very rich in information. So our online virtual learning platform of Anglia Ruskin University is Canvas. The name of our virtual learning platform is Canvas. So you will be given access to Canvas by the 25th of June, because you have got one workshop next month, and thereafter there is a assessment for you to do by the 21st of June. Later on, I'll show you those dates, which is not graded, just to help you to understand how a report is written. And so then you are going to start your first subject. Many specializations will start their first subject thereafter. So in that case, so you are given access parallel to UK students. Definitely before 25th of June, you will be able to access our virtual learning platform called Canvas. And I was informed that you all have been sent your offer letters by the university. So you have been properly accepted and you have received your offer letters. So therefore, everything is set. Now you're going to basically start with skill workshops for the next few weeks. During that time, the university will make sure your online platform is ready for you and everything is added so that you can smoothly start. Okay. This university generally doesn't delay anything. So now when you go for your your first subject, you will meet students of the previous cohort, because they are doing their second or third subject with you while you are doing your first subject. It's a mixture of. Now when you start your first subject lectures, so the previous batch, they are joining with you. So then in the class, we have students of different stages. You are doing your first unit, some are doing their second unit, some are doing their fifth unit. So it's a mixture of that. So I mean, I'm sure that they will share their experience with you. And they have a very smooth, teaching, and especially to access to the materials and all. very timely the university attends. Therefore, I can give you an assurance that by the 25th of June, you will all be given the access to Canvas platform, and later on I'll show you how does it look like. Okay. And you take a unit at a time. You take one subject at a time. Certain subjects are 4 weeks long. If the subject is 15 credits long, so it's actually 1 month long, 4 weeks long. If the subject is 30 credits, so then the subject lasts for 6 weeks. Some of your subjects are small subjects, 15 credits. That will finish in 4 weeks. Some subjects are a little bigger, so that you will go for 6 weeks. If you take your research project, it is 1/3 of your program, 60 credits. It will last for 4 months, right? So depending on the number of credits, the duration of the unit is designed. So therefore, you take a unit at a time. You take your first subject, you do it, completely finish that off, and then you are moving into the next unit. And completely finish that off and starting your third unit. You always take one subject at a time. Okay. So you have got generally 7 subjects, including your final project. You take one subject at a time and finish it off and go into the next subject. Okay. Because conventionally, universities, what they do is actually they teach a number of subjects simultaneously in a semester. And at the end of the semester, you are asked to do all assessments together, which is actually quite difficult for professionals working in the industry, because I mean, it's difficult for you to take maybe 2-3 weeks leave and start doing all assessments at the last couple of weeks. So this gives you an opportunity to concentrate one subject at a time and completely finish that off and moving to the next subject. Okay, right. So we have prepared your 12 months calendar. So now we have started the classes today. You will be finishing your program by the next year, 30th of June. Your end date is 30th of June, 2026. Okay. From that day onwards, it will take about 8 to 12 weeks for us to give your certificates. Okay. To mark your final project, present your results to the exam board, and get your certificates printed and, and bring it here. And to give your certificates and the transcripts, letters and all, it will take 8 to 12 weeks from the last submission. So your last submission is the last week of June 2026. Okay. And thereafter, you can go for the graduation. Remember, graduation is just a ceremony. Okay. In the graduation, you don't receive your certificate or anything. So you are receiving only that empty scroll on the stage. But the certificates you will receive after 8 to 12 weeks from 30th of June 2026. Okay. If you like, you can go for the graduation in UK, and you can join with the on-campus students there in Anglia Ruskin University, UK at Chelmsford or Cambridge campus, because there's no difference between the qualification and the certificate you receive and the certificates received by on-campus students there in UK. This is not distance learning. This is through a learning partner. Therefore, this is a classroom of University of Bedfordshire. Therefore, there is no difference whatsoever in terms of the qualification received by the students in UK and the qualification received by you. You all are doing the same assignments. You are doing the same, you are following the same curriculum. Therefore, you will receive the same certification as well. So in UK, there are 2 graduations. So one is in November, and most likely you will be able to apply for November graduation in 2026. And also you can join the local graduation as well. So local graduation is in October 23rd next year. So you will be invited for sure for the local graduation at BMICH, like other universities, on 23rd of October 2026. Okay, if you like, you can go to UK university graduation, and also you can come to local graduation as long as you pay the graduation fees. Okay. So you don't have many lectures, but instead you have workshops, mostly Saturday from 2:30 to 6:30, and certain days maybe we will extend the lectures by 1 hour. Like today, for example, the students who are finishing their lectures at 6:30 will continue with me until 8 o'clock or maybe 8:30, because it's an additional session, not a timetable session. It's an additional session. Okay. So generally, so we have a fixed timetable from 2:30 to 6:30 every Saturday, and this will continue for 1 year. And sometimes certain units you will have breaks in between, like 3 to 4 weeks, because certain units you have got 4 weeks unit, whereas the other specialization they are doing 6 weeks. In that case, the students are given 2 to 3 weeks holidays time to time. But whatever, we have prepared your timetable in a way that you finish your program exactly within 1 year. Okay. So as I said earlier, it is 30th of June, you will be finishing everything, and then you will receive your certifications. Okay. ARU's qualification is more than just a qualification, but you can expect the students to competently apply knowledge related to fundamental business processes to make effective business decisions in a global context. As I said earlier, master's level is mostly what application. It's not by hearting and recalling them at exams. You have to understand, and then you have to apply the theories you learn to given situations. Okay. And also integrate business knowledge to take well-reasoned action in diverse situations. Now you can see you have got only 7 subjects to do for your entire master's degree. But if you work with our Australian partner, we have got 12 subjects to do. Why you have less subjects? The reason is, for you, the university is giving you a blended learning experience. What they have done is they have combined certain subjects together to give you a blended learning experience. Like for example, if you take leadership and change, that subject talks about leadership, change management, sustainable business management, all three together. Because the reason is, when you work in the corporate sector, in the strategic level problems, they are not only coming from HR. HR problem is related to marketing, it is related to finance, it is related to supply chain management. Therefore, you should have the capability of looking at strategic level problems more holistically rather than looking from the narrowed subject perspective. Now, you know, always in organizations, there's a conflict between marketing and finance. Even though the marketing guy is killed by the customer, finance guy says, no, I don't want to release funds because I need a board approval. I work for the budget. Okay, there's a legendary conflict between finance and marketing all the time. Why do we have conflicts in teams like that? The reason is they are looking at from a very narrowed subject perspective, not from a holistic perspective. Therefore, this approach will help you to look at strategic level problems from more holistic approach rather than looking from a narrowed subject perspective. Okay, so that is why you have got 7 subjects. Even though you have got 7, within those 7, you cover so many other areas, right? Innovate to address business issues in opportunities in a dynamic environment. We know that the environment is changing very fast. We live in a VUCA world, right? Everything is volatile, uncertain. So therefore, so we need to respond to the market changes quite fast. Otherwise, we will lose the race. Demonstrate the leadership necessary to accomplish business goals and maximize organization performance. So leadership is a part of many of your subjects. So therefore, leadership will be taken quite seriously in this program. Evaluate the ethical and social implications of business decisions. So these are the competencies we generally expect the students to have once they finish the program. So up to this, if you have got a question, you can ask. Now I'm going to go for the course structure where I'll show you the subjects, most likely tutor, how you are going to be assessed, and so on and so forth. Yeah, any questions up to this? No questions? If you have, you can interrupt me at any point, okay? First, we will go for Master of Business Administration General Program. If you take MBA programs, many subjects are common. Okay, so therefore, when I go for the next course structure, certain subjects I will not repeat because I have covered those subjects here, right? So you can see this is the MBA subject. So you can see this is the subject offering. You have a subject called Management and Strategy. So this subject is assessed by a report of 3,000 words, Management and Strategy. You are supposed to do this subject in December. And so this report is actually, this is a 4 weeks unit. Within 4 weeks, we have to finish. If you take at the end of the unit, you have to prepare a 3,000 word report. Now, what happens in this report is we will group you. In a group, there will be 3 students, right? So you will have to divide the work among 3 Maybe I will write for this part of 1,000 words. I will write 1,000 words for this part, and I will write, actually one person is doing about 1,000 words. And then you three combine all three together and submit the assignment, and all three will be given the same mark. Okay, that's how it is, because it's a 1 month subject. So you have to quickly finish it, so that we are giving you the opportunity to work in a team and take the contribution from your team members, divide the work among your members, and finish the work. At the end of the day, you have to submit a report of 3,000 words. And leadership and change. Now this one, you have to write again. You can see 3,000 word report. This is an individual submission. This is an individual submission. Now this time, this is what I'm supposed to teach today after your session, leadership and change. Here the students are supposed to do 4 tasks. They have to do MBTI test, Brit-Meyer test, which is available online. You can do, and then your personality type will come up. So then you have to self-reflect on your personality. And then there's another test we are providing the students to test their team role. When you work in a team, what is your role? Whether you are an investigator, whether you are a planner, whether you are an innovator, this test will tell you what your type is. So then you have to reflect on that, right? So thereafter, we will organize a group work. Now, before you go to the group work, you know who you are and how you generally perform in a team. With that awareness, you go and work in the team so that the conflicts will come down. Right? Because certain behaviors of us, even we don't know we have such behaviors. When we are exposed to testing only, we know, right, psychometric testing, then only we know, right, I have got this issue. So these tests will enlighten you what your weaknesses, strengths, what is your dark side, right? So give you a better understanding. And how you perform in a team, if you want to improve performance, how you can do that, right? So we are basically letting students to do number of tests and write and reflect on their results, right? So that report is basically a portfolio, combination of 4 items. Altogether, it is 3,000 words, individual submission, right? Not big story. Innovation and entrepreneurship. So you have to do a presentation, which is recorded, and also an assignment, which carries 65%. So which is only about 2,000 words, right? It's a combination of 2 things. And then finance for decision making. So you have got only online quiz. It's an online quiz. You are given the quiz, you have to go and answer the questions. 100% online quiz. So from where you are, it doesn't matter. So you can go to Canvas, click the link, and you can finish that off, right? Principles of marketing management. It's a 30 credit. It's a big one. It goes for 6 weeks. Okay. And report of 4,000 words and 100% report on 4,000 words. And organization psychology in a social context, 30 credits is a case study of 1,000 words plus a portfolio of 2,400. Portfolio means, so number of items together, but altogether word count is 2,400 words, right? And then entrepreneurial action, that is the research part. In your research, you have to do a written action project of 10,000 words, and you are given 80% for that. And you have to do a 10 minutes oral video presentation, that is also recorded one, so that you are given 20%. So if you are doing your MBA general, these are the subjects that you are supposed to follow. And management and strategy, this unit will be done by Tushar Asuramanna. He's the general manager, CEO at SMIB Bank. Prior to that, senior vice president at Nation Trust, and have got about over 30 years experience in the banking industry. He's going to be your tutor for management and strategy. Leadership and change is done by Prasanna Pereira, former head of marketing at Haley's and working as a business consultant for many firms, teaching strategy, leadership and change for the last 35 years. So one of the veterans in teaching marketing and strategy. Prasanna Pereira is doing leadership and change. Innovation and entrepreneurship is done by Dimitrios Pereira. He's the senior general manager at Toyota and working for Toyota for the last 20 years, working with us for the last 15 years. So Dimitrios is going to teach you innovation and entrepreneurship. Finance for decision making is done by Roshan Jayanta, a chartered fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants, and has been teaching for so long for both research and finance related subjects. So he's going to be your lecturer for finance for decision making. Principles of marketing management will be done by either Prasanna Pereira or Teranka Karim. He's the CEO at Posh, the automobile in the in Sri Lanka. So he's going to be your tutor for principles of marketing management. Organization psychology in social context will be done by either Dimitrios Pereira from Toyota or Samita Pereira, Dr. Samita Pereira, So he's the former director, CEO at CBL, and now the chairman at Lanka Satosa. So one of them will be your tutor for this unit. Okay. And entrepreneurial action, the research project will be given a supervisor to work with you individually. Okay, so you prepare the proposal, you work with the tutor, show it, agree, and then you upload it, right? This is the structure of the Master of Business Administration general program. Now you can see at the end of the program, all of your programs, if it is a master's degree in UK, it is 180 credits. What do you mean by a credit in UK? Credit in UK is equal to, 1 credit is equal to 10 hours of studies. So if it is a 15 credit subject, then what is the total commitment for this subject? It is 150 hours. Within how many weeks? 4 weeks. Okay. Out of those 150 hours, 30 to 35 hours you are coming for classes. Either online or offline, you have lectures. Okay. And you have to allocate about another 30 to 40 hours to study the materials we have given in your Canvas platform. In Canvas platform, we have given you materials weekly basis. Week 1, week 2, week 3, we have given you so many things to read. For you to study those guided learning, you need about another 30 to 40 hours. Okay. So the remaining hours are allocated for you to do your own independent research using number of online libraries we have given you to access. You have access to enormous number of libraries here, all free of charge during your studentship. Okay, from your login, you can go and access anything, right? So that's how we basically divide this 150 hours. But being quite practical, I know you have a lot of work commitment. Now, my commitment is 150 hours within how many weeks? Within 4 weeks, right? So which is quite tough for you because you are working, you have to look after your family and all because you are mature students. So sometimes it will be tough for you. Okay, but I'm just telling you the minimum requirement. So number 1, don't miss classes. If you miss a class, you have the recording, go to the recording, watch it and make sure you know what is happening. Number 1. So you should not miss that. And then at least study 2 hours a day. At least study 2 hours a day. Right? So then we are talking about 28 days, right? So into 2 is 56 hours plus 30 hours of teaching, about 80 to 85 hours. Definitely you have to work. Without doing that, you can't pass the subject, right? Ideally, you should go for 150 hours. But I'm telling you, being practical, what is the minimum? All classes miss, you can go to and watch the recording at any time. And then every day you have to, have 2 hours of very conscious effort in doing your work. Every day 2 hours. I mean, if you can't commit that also, then you have selected the wrong masters here, right? Because it's a public university, a proper master's degree. So I mean, as you know, because there are master degrees you can easily get, but you have selected the hard way of getting your master's, but the right way, from a proper university, but proper experience, proper knowledge. So in that case, we need your commitment, right? So ideally, I mean, it's not very big, 2 hours a day and cover the classes. That's it. Minimum requirement. Ideally, if you have time, so go for 150 hours per subject if it is 15 credits, right? If it is 30 credits, so then you know the commitment is what? Commitment is 300 hours within 6 weeks. Final project, anyway, you are given 4 months to do, right? Now we'll go to Master of Business Administration, Entrepreneurship Specialization. So I'm not going to repeat the same subjects. The entrepreneurial mindset. This unit is done by Dimitrios Pereira from Toyota. So you have to do a reflective report of 6,000 words. Once you finish your learning, you write a reflective piece, reflecting on your learning, okay, which is 6,000 words. And also you have another subject called developing a proposition. So that is value design proposition and also a 15 minutes presentation. This unit will be done by Dr. Prashantha Jayamanna. Dr. Prashantha is the chairman at DPJH Holdings and also the former chairman at Lanka Ports Authority, Lanka Coal, Best Entrepreneur of the Year 2009 and 2015, and even teaches in the Harvard Business School. So Prashantha is going to be your tutor for developing a proposition. Yeah, all other subjects are the same. Okay. MBA Finance. Again, you have got specialized subjects, analytical essentials, transforming business with big data. So this unit will be done by Dr. Chiranta from Uvavellas University, specialized in data management. So he'll basically cover this unit. You have a coursework assignment of 2,500 words. Okay. And also you can see applied corporate and finance financial strategy. This subject will be done by Dinuka Pereira, the head of finance at Millennium IT. So you have got two online quizzes, 20% and 80%. Now you can see a range of diversified method of assessing you. Some are reports, some are group work followed by reports, some are reflective pieces, some are online quizzes, some are restricted exams, time restricted exams. What do you mean by a time restricted exam means? We will tell you, right, we will release the question paper online to you on this particular day. But you have to answer the question paper within 48 hours. Actually, if you do at a stretch, you can finish in 2 hours. Okay. Now, assignments, you are given unlimited time. We will give you right from the beginning. You have 4 weeks to do. But these are time restricted essays. So the restriction may be 48 hours. Okay. If you do at a stretch, you can finish in 2 hours. But we will give you time to do it 48 hours. Within those 48 hours, you have to finish that off. They are called time restricted exams or essays. Okay. Can do. Before, you can save and do it before the deadline. So you have to finish that off and submit it. If you don't submit it, so then the whatever you have done at last will be taken as final. After the deadline, you can't access it. These are called time restricted assessments. Okay. Right. Cost structure for banking and finance. So you can see there's a subject called international financial markets and investments. So there is an in-class test. In-class test means not you're doing the test in the class. Okay. You will be given an access to a link called Wiseflow. You go there and do an online exam. Okay. It's an in-class online exam. Right. So for that, before you start that unit, 4 weeks before, we will tell you what the date is. You have to make sure that day is free for you. Only 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, and you have to do the exam. It's an online that you can do it from anywhere else in the world. So you will see the questions and then you can type the answer and submit and finish that off. Okay. For this particular unit, you have got a test. In-class test means online in-class test. Right? Yeah, other subjects are the same. Fintech and data analytics. So you can see fintech and data analysis. You have got fintech revolution shaping sustainable financial markets. Dr. Shonal is going to do that unit, and you have got group presentation of 20 minutes. Unseen online class test, that's an MCQ test of 2 hours. Okay. Group presentation means, so we will group you and the presentation is 20 minutes. And in a group, there will be 4 candidates and each person will speak about 5 minutes. They together prepare, they divide their works. I'll prepare the first 4 slides. I'll prepare the next 4 slides. So the slide number will be 12 to 15. And then you present the your presentation and that will be recorded. That also you are doing online. So we'll give you a link. So you join from that link and then your all 4 members will be their online room and then you can start. We will invite one by one to present and that will be recorded and then exposed for the marking. Got it? If it's a presentation, so all 4 members will be given a link at the same time. Click and join the meeting. And then you can do your presentation online. It will be recorded. Okay. Physical presence is not required. Therefore, if you have some travel arrangement, if you are not in Sri Lanka at that moment, no problem. You can join from anywhere else and do it. Make sure you have a strong data connection during that time. And we will give you a time well before. Timing for the, the timing for the presentation will be given to you at least 1 month before. So, and it will be mostly on a Saturday and Sunday so that you have no problem. And we will arrange to the convenience of students. If they have problems during that particular day, we will organize something in the weekday evenings as well to help you to make your life easy. Then if somebody can't come on that particular weekend during that, we will give you option of a weekday evening also. Okay, so you can pick up the slot for you. We will make the slots available. You can go and pick up the slot which is convenient to you. Okay. This is for MSc, International Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Certain subjects are different, sustainable supply chain and logistics. Now this unit will be done by Miss Priyadarshini Karunaratne. She's the Vice President at Nestle. So she has worked for Nestle for 25 years, ended up as a Vice President. So she has been working in the green supply chains and supply chain management. So she's going to be your tutor for sustainable supply chain and logistics, where you have an MCQ test, 60 minutes, and assignment of 3,000 words. Okay. And also you have got supply chain management and practices. This unit will be done by Mr. I.G. Pereira. He's from University of Colombo, and he's going to do supply chain management and practices. You have a quiz of 45 minutes and individual assignment of 3,000 words. Okay. Operations management is going to be done by Chaminda Ratnayaka. Chaminda was the former general manager at Elkin Spence Printing and has been teaching operations, supply chain management for us for the last 15 years. Working as a senior consultant at AUPAC, is in Vietnam, one of the biggest printing companies. So he has been working in the operations environment, same thing that he's doing. Okay. And you have project management. So this unit will be done by Mr. I.G. Pereira. And you have postgraduate major project, which is the same thing. Always project is 10,000 words. 80% for the document, 20% for your presentation. Okay. Course structure for MSc International Business. So here you have got a new subject here. You can see contemporary issues in international management. This unit will be done by Mr. Prasanna Pereira. And all other units we have discussed before. They are common with some of the other programs, right? Last one, MSc Brand Management. So here you have got branding for future. This subject will be done by Milinda Tilakaratna. He used to be the former head of digital marketing at Dialog, but now working as a CEO and also a consultant for many firms in digital marketing. And principles of marketing management will be done by Oshada Senanayaka. He was the former chairman at ICTA and also right now the chief information officer at Brandix. So he's going to be a tutor for principles of marketing management. Personal and digital branding also will be done by Milinda Tilakaratna. So these are the units for, you can see it's 4 big units, 30 credits each. Therefore, sometimes you will have breaks. Like for example, MBA entrepreneurship and also MSc in international business. So you have a couple of weeks delay in starting your first subject compared to other students here, because their current unit is running right now. Okay. Sometimes in between certain subjects, you have a break. Okay. Break means is maximum of 3 weeks. Generally, everybody will be given a 1 week break during the Christmas holidays and also during the New Year holidays. So other than that, we work through the other 48 weeks across the year, right? Up to this, if you have got any questions, you can ask. I'll give you a break after next few slides. If you have any questions up to this. Yeah, I can see you have a question, Sharan. Yeah, your question, please.
Yes, Dr. I have one question. In the brochure that sent to me to select the courses for the MBA, the MBA finance was not there.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Danushka.
Yeah,
I have a question.
Yeah, it's actually updated recently. The finance, actually, the brochure was updated day before yesterday. So there was a change. Yeah, there was a change in the subject. Okay. So now we have brought actually that until that subject approval came, we did not included that one in the brochure. But now it is available. If you just send a text to Mr. Malidu, who has done the recruitment, so he will send it. He will send it to you immediately. And also, if you go to the website, Now you can see the MBA finance is there because there was a change in the units. So therefore we had to take it out and until we get the approval. Now it's there. It's now live running.
So I have selected MBA banking and finance instead since it was not there. So is there any option for me to get transferred to
You
the?
can. You can of course do it because still you have not started the first lecture of the unit. Therefore, you have the opportunity to switch. So there's a course transfer form, Mr. You can talk to the admissions team. Later, I will give you the all contact details for you in one of the slides. Please speak to them. They will quickly send you a very short half a page transfer form, and they will do the switch for you from one specialization to the other. That is possible only up to 25th of this month, 25th of June. Because 25th, you are given access to Canvas. Thereafter, we can't change the specialization. But until such time, you can switch from one to the other. So you can do it, no problem.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right. Okay.
Because the course mapping, because in the UK and Sri Lankan delivery, the course mapping was done by me actually for the university. For UK university, I have done the mapping. So there was a subject I have requested from the university for MBA finance. So that was recently approved, and MBA finance is offered by Chelmsford campus and Oxford College only. Okay. Right, your assignment submissions, the soft copy of the assignment submission through Canvas platform. So on or before 2 p.m. UK time, right? Like for example, I can tell you your first assignment is due by the 28th of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Your first assignment is due by July 28th. And Finance for Decision Making Unit first assignment is due by the 25th of August. And now you can see Sustainable Finance and ESG, those who are doing MBA Finance, 28th of July. And International Financial Markets and Investments, that is 11th of August. So now you can see all the deadlines are set and the assessments are available for you. Okay. So on that particular day, if it is 28th of July, please make sure you submit your assignment before 2 p.m. UK time. Okay. If you are late by a second, you will lose 10% of marks up to maximum of 3 days. Next day 10%, next day 10%, then your one will not be marked. Therefore, I always encourage you. We didn't have any problem last semester submission. Everybody submitted well before. Because you should not anyway submit it late. Reason is this university allows you to upload your assignment and see your plagiarism, your similarity. If it is high, you can change to those areas and resubmit. You can do multiple submissions until the deadline. After the deadline, you can't do that. Therefore, if you don't submit by the deadline, if you're 1 second late, you will lose that 10%. Next 24 hours, another 10%. Next 24 hours, another 10%. And thereafter, they will not mark. Right? Maximum up to 3 days, but every day you are losing 10% of marks. Right? So you have to submit your document by the 2 p.m. UK time. And thereafter, you have to email it to this particular email address at OCB before 5 p.m. The reason for us to ask you to email it is, in case, very unlikely, so far not happened, but there is a possibility. In case if you upload, but the examiner can't download because the file is corrupted. In that case, we need evidence to prove the university that the student has submitted at least via email to us and we have the right copy. Therefore, the second step is not mandatory for you. It is for the safety. If you like, you can do it, but if you don't do it, we can't help you. We can prepare a case for you if you have done the second step. If you don't do it, no problem. But in case, if there is any problem, so then we can help you if you have done the second one as well. Got my point? Yeah. So if you feel that you cannot submit your assignment by this 2 p.m. by the deadline, under very special circumstances, university will extend your deadline up to 5 days. Those are called mitigation circumstances. right? So if you have a mitigation circumstance, like one example is perhaps your medical grounds, right? If you have a mitigation, or maybe one of the close relations of yours has passed away, death of a close relation. It includes spouse, children, and parents. In such situations, you can tell the university, right, I have a mitigation, please give me 5 days additional time. If you have proper documentation, then only the university will approve it. But remember, you have to submit that one 48 hours prior to the submission. If your submission date is 28, by 26th, ideally 25th, you have to fill the mitigation application form, attach evidences, and submit. If it is medical grounds, like your submission is on 28th and you are submitting us documents by the 26th, and your doctor says this patient is suffering from all those stories from today onwards, then university will not approve your MC. Why? They will say, what have you done for the last 4 weeks? You are sick, but only from yesterday. Today is a submission. So your doctor has to cover at least 14 days from the date of issuance, saying that this patient has been suffering from these issues for the last 14 days. Right? For the last minute, you can't, just because you know your submission is tomorrow, you are sick only from today. Then your mitigation will not be approved because it is unfair for the others. They are very strict in this. Why? Because it is unfair for the other students who are doing in a very strict deadline. Right? Right. Now, if you need that sort of extension of 5 days, you can do that. But if you feel that you cannot come back in 5 days, like for example, very unlikely case, a student gets a heart attack or some sort of a illness which prevents him from learning from next few weeks, then what you should do is don't go for MC, mitigation circumstances. There is a form called interruption of studies. You stop your studies for minimum of 4 weeks, maximum of 1 year. Okay. You tell the university, I have a ground like this. These are my evidence. So therefore, I cannot study. So help me in, stopping my program temporary right now. Minimum you can stop for 4 weeks. Maximum for 1 year. Right? Only disadvantage is by the time you resume, if they have changed the subjects, right? Now, once you start this subject, I have shown you some subjects. Now, these things will definitely work for you. Even if they change some subject, that will not affect you. That is for the new batch, right? But if you have interrupted your studies and joined after some time, if the university had changed subjects or content or anything, you have to go for the new curriculum. If they have changed subject drastically, then you have to take the new subjects. By that time, if they have changed the fee structure, you have to go for the new fee structure. That's a problem. Right. My last situation is, now one is MC, right? That is for how many days? 5 days. More than that, interruption of studies, right? Now, without getting any of those things, you don't submit assignments. No MC approved, no interruption of studies. You simply avoid submissions. You don't submit, right? If you do that twice, if you avoid submissions one after the other, 2 subjects, 2 submissions, you will be exited from the program for non-engagement of studies. We call NS exit. Right? So then you cannot come back. They will issue you the transcript only for the completed subjects and ask you to leave. Right? So the reason, I mean, one simple reason for you is the university is giving you 1 year to finish this. They are investing money for your platforms, online library access, and everything for 1 year. If you need more time, they will help you under some special circumstances, but not forever. Okay? So you have to take the responsibility. So therefore, don't avoid submissions. If you want to avoid submissions, you need approvals. Right? So otherwise, what happens is your money is wasted. That's the problem. You will fail, go for a retake. Right? So that's about assignment submissions, soft copy and the hard copy, right? So these are the dates for the submissions. We are running, you are starting with a specialized unit. Therefore, different specializations are doing different subjects. But when you go for the next subject, mostly you will all be in the same class again, because it is a generic subject. Right? Mostly it is specialized subject and then a generic subject. Specialized subject, generic subject. That is how the subject flow goes. Right, these are the deadlines for you. We will share you the slideshow and also this recording just after my teaching session today. Up to this, if you have any questions, you can ask. No questions? Then we are going to go for key assessment regulations. So pass mark for all subjects of level 7 is 50%. You need to have 50%. That is our pass mark. Okay, pass mark is 50%. Students are entitled to one reassessment attempt at a module. If you fail in the first instance, we will give you another opportunity to do it, which is given to you free of charge. You don't have to pay, right? If you fail that one also, then only you have to make a payment and re-register for the subject when it is available next time. They are called retakes. Okay. But for example, when you submit your assessment for the first time and you fail because you have attempted to cheat the university and found guilty for that. In that case, we will not give you free seats, free opportunities. We will fail the entire subject, ask you to pay and do it at the next time. If you fail, genuine cases, no problem. We will help you to pass it while you are doing the existing subjects. So it will be very easy for you and finish with the same batch. But if a student attempts to cheat the university and found guilty, then the consequences will be very harsh. Right? So then we will say, no, you have to do it again. And that is the last time. And until you do that subject and pass, we will not let you do your final project. Pass all your first few subjects. Without that, we don't allow you. So many issues. You can't finish in 1 year. Right? So later on, we will discuss what those academic offenses are. Right? Highest element marks achieved are used to calculate module mark after reassessment. Because what happens is if you fail for the first time and then you are given another opportunity to do, in your resit, if you score even 75, we will give you only 50 marks. You will be capped by 50. Reason is others have passed in the first attempt and you are doing for the second time. Right? You can pass, but we will give you only the pass mark. The overall module mark after reassessment is capped at the pass mark. A student fails the reassessment attempts of a module. A student who fails module at both the initial and reassessment, they have to go for a retake. That is what I said, you have to pay and do it. Okay. And remember, postgraduate major project modules cannot be retaken. That means you have to pass in the very first attempt. Very first attempt you have to pass. Or your resit. You do it, you fail, then the university is giving you another opportunity, right? That opportunity you have to pass it. But you can't pay and do it next time. If that happens, what will happen is they will give you postgraduate diploma and ask you to leave from the program, but not the full master's degree. These are called exit awards. Remember, I showed you earlier in the exit awards. So this is what happens. Okay. Remember, in the master's level, maximum number of failures can be 45 credits. You can't fail more than 45 credits. Every subject you can't keep on failing, right? So maximum you can fail 45 credits and they will give you the chance to do it again. But more than 45 credits, they will ask you to take the number of credits you have earned and leave from the program. Okay. So we have classifications in master's degrees, general pass and merits and distinctions. Okay. So we will take your overall grading. So if you're between, you can see here, award gradings. So if you have got more than 70% of marks average, so then you will finish your master's with the distinction. Okay. And then you can finish with the merit. You can see the merit in the postgraduate level. Postgraduate only 3: distinction, merit, and pass. So if you have an overall average of 65, so you will go for a merit, and the remaining 50 to 64, you will finish with a general degree. Okay. These are the classifications for the master's degrees. Gradings, you can see if you have scored between 90 to 100, very unlikely, very exceptional. 80 to 89, outstanding. 70 to 79, excellent. And 60 to 69, good. 50 to 59, sound. But hereafter, you can see the failing marks. For the recent subject, we have finished. We have got about distinctions for. I mean, I'm talking about only the subject, right? Not overall. Subject, we have got about 18% of students achieving distinctions. 18% of students are achieving distinction, which is very high actually, because the last batch which have started the program are doing a lot of work. Okay, so always in terms of marking, there is a very stringent process of marking. So what happens is now you submit your assessment by the deadline, and thereafter your assessment will be marked by the first examiner. Okay, and thereafter it will be moderated by the second examiner, and then it will be assessed by the external examiner who is not working for University Anglia Ruskin University, and then it will go into it will be basically produced to the first exam board, where the chair of the exam board will take everyone and each and every mark and check. Then it goes to the scheme board, and then it goes to the final board. Therefore, your marks are checked at 6 checkpoints: first examiner, moderator, external examiner, first exam board, scheme board, final board. Right? Therefore, you cannot apply for remarking because it has been marked and remarked enough. Okay. So marks will be released to you, the mark, and also as to why your examiner has given you that mark and what are the areas you can improve. Okay, your feedback and the marks will be released to you. Okay, right. That's mostly once you submit, before before the submission of your next subject, the marks will be released for you. Like for example, if you submit 28th of July, if your next submission is in September 28th, maybe 2 weeks prior to that, marks will be released. Okay. Always the marks are released for you before you submit your next assessment, so that if there are any weaknesses, you understand and you can correct and go ahead with that. Remember, marks are provisional. Okay, marks are provisional because we release the marks after the first 3 exams. First examiner, moderator, and the external examiner. But the remaining steps continue to go. But we will release the marks. Marks are provisional and very unlikely to change because it has been 3 times marked. Very unlikely, but officially we don't call them final marks. We call them provisional marks. But actually, it's very unlikely to change. Right? But there's a possibility, but very rare. Very, very rare. Right. So these are the descriptions for master's marking. After the next 2 slides, I'll give you a break. Payments, university semester enrollments you can do through the online enrollment system, which you have been given right now, right? And tuition fees you can pay to Oxford College of Business through their website, internet bank transfers, and by visiting the main campus. If you need any information about your payments, you can call these individuals. So I'll share the slideshow after this, so you have all the contact numbers there. You can talk to them and get the clarifications. Okay. Accessing the lectures and recordings. So you have again through the same system, OES, you have already got the access for that online enrollment system. To learn how to log in, please watch. There's a guidance video. Once you click this link, so there's a guidance video how to join the session, online session, how to access your previous recordings, slides, and so on. So you can go and watch it, right? And important dates for you. So next week you don't have anything. It's a holiday week for you. 14th you have a class, and 21st you have got a non-graded submission. Okay, your first class, your lecturer will give you a very small task, which is not going to be graded by the university, and so that you are supposed to submit by the 21st, and then the 28th you have another class. Then your 3 skill workshops are over. Okay, then your first subject class will begin from 5th of July. Correct? These are the 3 skill workshops where you will be very much familiar about how to do referencing, how to write essays, how to write reports, how to do presentations. So these basic skills will be taught to you within next 3 weeks. Those who are doing MBA entrepreneurship and also MSc international business, your classes will start after further 2 weeks because your current module is going until 2nd week of July. Okay, others are starting from 5th. Now you can see you are starting your first lecture for the first subject, most of you, by the 5th July. And your first assignment submission is on 28th. Okay, so very close, huh? 1 month. Right. So before we go into the next set of slides, I want to give you a break. But before that, if you have any questions, you can ask. No questions? All right. So then I'll give you a break of about 15 minutes and thereafter, which is actually more important than what we have so far discussed, because I'm going to talk about the expectations from the university and also about academic integrity. What is Turnitin? What is AI contribution? Academic offenses, how to avoid those things. Okay, so those things will be covered in the just after the break. Okay, right, have a break and come in about 15 minutes so then we can resume the session. Right, please resume the session. Now we are going to discuss the concept of mastersness. As you all have come to the master's level, we have to understand the expectations at the master's level. Okay. So we have to see what exactly is mastersness, right? So the mastersness comprises of 7 characteristics. Master degrees are complex. It's not simple and straightforward. So the program is quite complex. And the level of abstractions is relatively high. Depth learning rather than surface learning. Research is a part of mastersness. Learn autonomy. You have to take the responsibility of your own learning. Unpredictability in an operational context. And we expect the highest professionalism. We'll take one by one and see. The master degrees are always complex. It's not very, very simple. Like, you know, during your assessments, we want us discuss the 5 concepts of marketing. So those are not master's level questions. So we will teach you all marketing concepts and we'll give you an organization and ask you to apply those theories and analyze the case and perhaps come up with recommendations and some to draw some conclusions, right? So recognizing and dealing with complexity of knowledge, integrating knowledge and skills, applying knowledge in practice. You can see master's level what? Application of theories, models and frameworks into given situations, right? It's application. So level of abstraction is relatively high in master's level. So extracting knowledge or meanings from evidence-based sources, that is research. Using these to construct new knowledge or meanings, that is original thought. So I'd like to spend a few minutes on this slide. The level of abstraction in the master's level is relatively high, right? I'll give you an example. Like, for example, about a couple of blocks before, we had a live project for students. In the live project, it's a bit of a long story, but I'll just cut it short. There was a company, let's call it company A. Company A was acquired by another company. The company B came and acquired company A. They bought. Okay. After the acquisition, the company showed a tremendous improvement in terms of the finances, both top line and the bottom line significantly improved. They had a problem of voluntary employee turnover, which was about 25%, which came down to 4%. Their overall equipment efficiency went up to 97%. All productivity indicators showed a tremendous improvement. So after the acquisition, the company improved in operational perspective, HR perspective, everything was really good. And after some time, another company came and bought company B, second acquisition. And the new management, they basically used hire and fire policy. Even the senior level managers were blackguarded in front of their subordinates. Okay. And very soon, a lot of disruptive behaviors in the factory floor was reported. Disruptive behaviors, right? And then all productivity indicators came down. Both top line, bottom line badly affected. Overall equipment efficiency came down. Voluntary employee turnover rocketed to 30%. Right? That's the current situation. Now the university asks the students to critically analyze the effectiveness of the acquisition process in the first acquisition and the second acquisition. How effective was the acquisition, first acquisition and the second acquisition? Okay, very simply, that's the case. So let's take only one small, very tiny area, employee turnover. Now it went up to 30% from 4%. Now you want to write, okay, something on in your assignment. Now, once you look at the behavior of the new management, their leadership style is more into autocratic leadership style, very autocratic. Okay. Now, if you write a short paragraph, assignment is 3,600 words. And if you take one paragraph, one short paragraph, if you write something like this, if you say, as a result of the autocratic leadership style practiced by the new management, voluntary employee turnover has gone up to 30% from 4%. If you write like that, examiner won't give you marks because it is not critical analysis, it is storytelling. It is storytelling. It is not evidence-based writing. Okay, it is storytelling. If you write something like this, same thing. If you say, for example, Hughes Ginnett Kirby 2015 states that an autocratic leader demonstrates characteristics such as these characteristics. The new management has shown the same characteristics. Therefore, their leadership style can be identified as autocratic. According to Abbasi et al. 2015, Jonathan et al. 2017, Matthew 2023, and John et al. 2024, if an organization uses autocratic leadership style, it triggers voluntary employee turnover. Therefore, the turnover increase from 4% to 30% could be due to autocratic leadership style. Now you can see whatever I say, I support with previous research citations. This is what we call evidence-based writing. So you can't just write your gut feeling. It has to be supported by what? Previous research or evidence. This is what we need. Okay. Now you can see to write about 35 words, if I use about 5 to 6 references, write 3,600 words require a lot of reading. Okay. At least about 20 citations, 20 good quality 20-25 citations is the minimum perhaps. Okay. There's no maximum, but minimum I'm talking about. So this is the level we are looking. That is what I said, assignments are not easy. Okay. So when I was talking with the students last week that I'm supposed to do a session in the evening, so they also said, BTI is, there's nothing much to talk about. Okay. Now I'm in the evening, I'm going to give them about 15 articles, all scholarly articles on MBTI and leadership relationships. Okay. So actually they should find, but I'm doing it on behalf of them. Right? With certain subjects, when it is difficult and the time is very limited, so I know the difficulties of I'm teaching for a very quite long time. I understand your problems because you are working students, not like full time, you don't have that much of freedom. So therefore, whatever the support we can do, we'll do it for you. You should not limit to our research findings, but you can broaden, but basic things will be provided if it is difficult. So now you can see that's the level of abstraction we are looking for. Right? In the master's level, the level of abstraction is relatively high. And also, depth of learning a subject. Now you can see we teach so many subjects, so many topics in the subject. But assignment came only from one small area, that is acquisitions in that particular case, mergers and acquisitions. Now today I'm teaching students, they have covered leadership theories, change management theories, personality testing, psychometric testing. They have learned so many things, but the assignment has come only from 2 areas. Because if we teach you so many topics and ask you to write on everything, then you will take bits and pieces of everything and write. That is called surface level. But masters, you are not supposed to do surface level. You are supposed to do what? Depth learning. So yeah, your assignment is coming from one small area. But this is master. So you have to master that particular area. Once the student finishes that, what you call mergers and acquisition assignment, they become masters of mergers and acquisitions. Then in their office, workplace, if they have a new situation, they know what is the process they should undergo to make the most effective decision. That is the skill we want to give. Okay. So therefore, it is what? Depth of learning a subject. You can see engaging in a narrow topic in depth. Narrow topic, but in depth. Okay. Sometimes students feel that even we had another class, corporate innovation and entrepreneurship. The assignment came from the Turner 2005 concept of ambidexterity. Okay, ambidexterity is, is basically the literal meaning is you are working your both hands. So in Turner 2005 says in your organization you have to have 2 strategies. One is exploitation. You have to exploit the resources you have, and you have to explore new thinking, innovation. Then only the organization can prosper and have a sustainable competitive advantage. Right? So the students was asked to use the Turner 2005 ambidexterity concept in the given case organization. Some students spoke to me and said, Doctor, the problem we have is now we have been taught so many topics. Under each topic, we were given like 20-25 slides. But this ambidexterity is talked only in one slide. Out of so many slides, only one slide covers ambidexterity. How can we write 3,600 words when you have only one slide? I said, don't worry. And next day I send about 40 journal articles on ambidexterity. Each one is about 45 pages long. I said, I have sent you enough now, read and do it. So what is the objective? You become a master of that particular area, right? So then in your organization, if there is a real situation, which is very new to everyone, right? You can't make judgments, decisions made based on your gut feeling, okay? Because you are taking a risk then. So you have to support you can come up with a gut feeling, but that gut feeling should be supported by previous research. Then your decision is more accurate with less error. That is the learning outcome we are looking for. Therefore, master's level. So we want to go for depth learning of a subject, okay, rather than surface learning. Salience of research and inquiry. Now you can see research is not only the last subject. Everywhere you have to do research, read materials, and bring things in. Degree of learn autonomy and responsibility. So we will basically support you, guide you, give you necessary instructions, clarify your doubts, but you have to do your assessments. You have to take the responsibility of your work. Okay, you have to have the right motivation, right location, and then acquire the knowledge. Unpredictability in an operational context. You know the real world problems by nature messy and complex, right? Your organization strategic level problems are not simple. If it is simple, managers can solve those things. You don't want research. But generally, they are very complex and messy. So your assessment tasks are also sometimes very complex and messy. Okay, but being creative and using the knowledge that you have gathered, you have to solve these problems. That is another characteristics of a master's degree. Okay. And we expect the highest professionalism at this level, displaying appropriate professional attitude, behaviors, and values, including learning ethical behaviors. Actually, at OCB, I have been teaching now for the 15 years. I have never seen any incident where the student has behaved unethically. We have a very decent professional set of students, and everybody is quite mature and very professional in their work. Therefore, we have no problem whatsoever with our students. But I have noticed one unethical behavior. So I thought I should tell you so that we can avoid many issues in coming months. When we have group work, we group you and share your group information within the group members. And some students, they don't respond to their group members, which is a problem, right? And sometimes you organize a group work, you know, the time is very limited, right? You start and after 4 weeks, you have the assessment. So then you have to discuss, finalize, do some work. And sometimes they organize meetings. Like they say, right, okay, at 9:30 at night tomorrow, we will have an online meeting of 15 minutes. Not a big story anyway. Just to divide the work among 3 of us, so 4 of us. Yeah, one guy is not coming. And you try to call and he's not responding. So then you are put in a very uncomfortable state because you don't know whether you should continue, whether he's coming or not, or he's forever lost. You don't know, right? Therefore, if you are in a group, please respond to your members. Sometimes there are situations where we can't respond because we have some issues. In that case, I mean, you can just simply send a message, I'm not coming. Please look after the work, or I'm not doing this unit. Okay, because if you're in a group, you all are busy, right? So therefore, we have to respect the time of others. This is the only issue I have come across. So you have to respect the time of the other students, right? Because you all are busy, right? If you take an online meeting at 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, right? So that means you are going to commit your time allocated for your family and all for this sort of a thing. So if others are not coming and you are just waiting in the lobby in online meeting, it's a waste of time. So therefore, please respond to others. If you have a problem, you tell the group, or if it is something different, you tell us so that we will do the replacement. Okay, because we have to respect the time of others, especially you are not full-time students, you are doing your jobs and you have a lot of responsibilities in your workplaces and for your family, right? Now, for example, sometimes I do classes for you in addition to the lecturer if the assignment is difficult. Okay, and generally I do those classes little late because allowing you to join online, maybe late about 9 o'clock at night. Then I know that you are coming at 9 o'clock, sacrificing your time. If I teach you 3 hours or 2 hours, my preparation time is about 20 hours. Okay, now I'm teaching at 6. I'll show you my file that the articles I have read during last 3 days. I slept only 2.5 hours yesterday night because I have my lectures. I'm doing this completely in addition to my job. It's not my job. Okay, but I respect my students. They are coming expecting today at 6 o'clock to learn about the assignment. Okay, so they are not here to listen to my bylaws. I have to be very focused. Okay, I respect my students because I know they are coming to learn something and I have my homework. Okay, I can now show you. I have written the assignment first to see whether I can write that. If I can't write, how can I teach them? I wrote first. Handwriting, I wrote this. And I thought that I could write that. When I wrote, I know that what are the challenges I come across. So then you will come across those problems. What are the solutions? I respect the time of my students always. I don't come and waste their time. If I teach 3 hours of teaching general subject is no problem. You don't know preparation. Come and teach the slides is not difficult, but assignment is difficult teaching. You have to take the responsibility. At the end of the day, if you write something wrong and if the examiner fails from UK, then you will all scold me. I have to take the responsibility, right? So therefore, if I teach you 2 hours, my preparation time for assignment session is at least about 15 hours. So therefore, I kindly request from you, if you have some group work throughout. So if you are in a group, I'm not asking anything. If you can't do it, please tell your members. Don't keep them in dark. Okay? Because sometimes if you do that in a one group, when you have the next group work, everybody will say, I don't want this fellow in my group. Then we have a problem. I have to wait sometimes until all the groups are formed to form a group of rejected fellows. Okay? So rejected fellows are collected and put into one group. The others one said, please don't put him because last time he made our life very difficult. Never came for meetings, all avoided, didn't do his work. We had to do his work also. I don't want him in my place. Then we have to negotiate with the university, readjusting groups, so many issues. Okay, that's the only unethical behavior I have seen. Other than that, we have no problem with the student base. Okay, developing academic integrity that I'm going to talk about a little detail, and dealing with challenges to professionalism, recognizing the need to reflect on practice, and finally to become a disciplined occupational community. Right, those are the expectations at the master's level. That is what is meant by mastersness. Now you can see you have access to online libraries. Once you have access to Canvas, you have access to all these things. Huge, none of our other partners give this sort of access. EBSCO itself is very big. Emerald, Overton, ProQuest ebook, ProQuest Science Tech Premium, ProQuest Social Science Premium, RefWorks, Taylor and Francis. You can access all these libraries unlimited during your student period. Okay, you can do enough research, right? This university gives you a lot of access to very quality journals, right? Canvas is the Anglia Ruskin University's virtual learning environment. That will be given to you before 25th of June. From the student point of view, it is their first port for call. All your course materials are there. Okay, all your course materials are there. All the related videos, all e-readings, everything is there. Okay. And also you have got your assessments, your assignment briefs, and frequently asked questions on the assignment brief, perhaps videos of your lecture. Now, once you go to your subject, your UK, our chief examiner there, he's also teaching all the subjects. Online, once you go to the system, you can see all our narrated PowerPoints are there. In addition to our lecturers, if you go to the system, you can see most PowerPoint slides are narrated by your examiner there to make sure that always minimum is covered, right? So input of assessments, any additional guidelines on assessments are also there. And your grades and feedback is also available in your Canvas. So Canvas is very rich in information, okay? What we will do is we will send you a short video when we send you your access details to Canvas, we will send you a video. It's a short video, click and watch that. That basically explains you how to use Canvas. Okay, where you can find your learning materials, where to upload your assignments, how to check your similarity, if it is high, what to do, right? How to access these online libraries. Everything is explained there. Therefore, before you access, have about 15 minutes look at on that video. and it's a very simple Blackboard platform. You will become familiar in 10 to 15 minutes, right? So you can see draft submissions. This link is provided only to check the similarity percentage. There is a submission called draft submission link. You submit and see your similarity. If it is high, no problem. You can change those things and again resubmit. But once you are happy with your final thing, you have to submit to the final submission link. Don't get these things mixed up. Huh? You can see draft submission link, and this submission will not be marked. It is provided to you to check your similarity. Okay. And the final submission link, once you cut and chop, finish everything, your similarity is perfect, then you submit through this, right? But only thing is, some students, if they do at the last minute, they don't want the draft submission. They will directly go for the final submission. Then if the similarity is high, it's a problem. Okay. Canvas, when you access, you need the multi-factor authentication. So therefore, it is urgent and mandatory. So you have to give your mobile phone. That is where the OTP comes for security purposes. So give that, you need that phone always with you, because if you use a different device, always OTP will come. But if you use the same device, no problem. Okay. Right. So now we come to another very important area, and I feel the most important, good academic practice. ARU, in line with the government guidelines, strongly policies plagiarism and provides clear guidance to students. Get a guide to referencing, that is Harvard referencing guide, which is available in Canvas. Summarize or paraphrase what you read, choosing words that seem the best for you. Write in your own voice. It is not taking a sentence and changing the odd word with a synonym. Okay, I'll give you examples. Your all assignments are taken through the Turnitin software. So your assignment submission link, draft assignment submission link, both are Turnitin links. Once you upload, your assignment will be taken through the Turnitin software. What is Turnitin software? Which has the capabilities of, Turnitin software has the capabilities of finding similar things. Okay, now once you upload your assignment, they will check what is similar between your assignment and other things available in the online space, and give us a percentage called similarity index. Sometimes the software says like 15% of this one is similar with other things. 20% of these are similar. Okay, you can see this percentage. I know some of you have used Turnitin, but some of you haven't. Therefore, I will show you a couple of samples so that you can see what it is. Okay. Can you see from your end? Right. So now here you can see this is the Turnitin report. The similarity is 14%. You can see 14%. What does this mean? 14% of this document is similar with other documents available in the online space. Okay. Now you can see the 14% here. Now you can see highlighted content. Now this green color content, if you click on this green color patch, you can find out from where the student has taken this sentence. Okay. Now this is a different color. That means this sentence is taken from somewhere else. This one is taken from another place. Now you can see this particular report similarity is 14%, right? Our maximum tolerance is 14%. We tolerate up to 14% because we know when you write 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000 words, there is a possibility certain sentences come similar with something somewhere available. So we tolerate up to 14%. More than 14%, we have to investigate. Okay. Now you can see some lines are high. Now this student is lucky because 14%, not more than 14. Therefore, we will basically mark the paper, right? So you can see some lines are highlighted. This is the detailed report, 14% similarity, 12% from internet sources, 3% from publications, 8% from student papers. Red color highlighted content the student has copied from this particular website. This purple color one the student has shifted from student paper submitted to Australian Institute of Management in South Australia. So you can see this is the detailed report. Now, once you submit your assignment to the draft link, draft will generate a report like this. Generally, once you submit to the Turnitin link, it will take 24 hours to generate a fairly accurate report. If you submit now, by tomorrow this time, look at the report. It will highlight all the areas and report is mostly accurate. Okay. So I'll show you another sample. Similarity is 92%. Okay. You can see almost everything is highlighted. You can see 92% similarity, 91% is shifted from student's work, 78% is taken from a student paper submitted to University of Wolverhampton, 7% from this place. You can see the detailed report. Now you have access to this, right? Once you finish your assignment, go to the draft submission link, submit. After 24 hours, see what is the report. If you have highlighted content like this, do the changes, rewrite those areas, and then you can resubmit again. And after again 24 hours, you can see what the new score is. Like that, you can do multiple submissions to draft link. Once you're happy with something, then submit through the original link. Okay. There you can't do multiple submissions. Clear? Right. This is right. You can see poor academic practice is basically picked up by the Turnitin software. Student will be warned with mild penalty at the first instance in the first assessment in the first semester. Okay. Mildest penalties, they will fail you from the subject. That itself is big. Okay. Subsequent to the student work, it will not be marked. It will be basically sent to university's academic conduct panel, whose decision is final. ACB awards a range of penalties from referral to retake of the unit, sometimes expulsion from the university for serial. If you continue to do, they will ask you to leave from the university. Okay. University reserves the right to viva any students worked at any time. Right? We can viva. You can call you for a meeting and ask you to defend your work. Right? Now, all these things come into play when we don't have what? Academic integrity. Right? When we don't have academic integrity, we have this problem. What is academic integrity? Academic integrity is honesty about resources and materials used. Giving recognition to other people's work and ideas. Honesty about any assistance you received. Honesty in all claims made in your work. This is about honesty in your work. That is what we call academic integrity. One of the issues in academic integrity is plagiarism. Okay, one of the biggest crimes you can commit in the academic world, we call plagiarism. Basic definition, very narrow definition, is using another person's idea or part of their work and pretending that it is your own. Generally, the master's level students don't do this. Problem is here, act or instance of using or closely imitating the language and thoughts of another author without authorization. Okay, what you do is sometimes you change one or two words of the original work and say, I have written it. No, software will capture it. Sometimes you convert active voice sentence into passive voice, passive into active. Software will capture those things, right? I'll give you some guidelines to avoid these problems. Okay, one is quotations. When you prepare your assignments, when you write your assignments, if you want to bring some others' work into your paper, you can do, but within certain limitations. Okay. One is quoting. Like, for example, you do your assignment on leadership and you want to define who is the transformational leader. You take it from your textbook. Okay. And you say, according to Gibbs 2017, transformation leader can be defined as, and then you copy and paste the definition here. You can do that. If you do that, remember, copying and pasting is what? It is a quotation. You are quoting something. If it is a quotation, what you should do? Please follow these guidelines. Okay. Number one, what you should do is use quotation marks. You can see use quotation marks. Now you can see here I have copied and pasted from day 2000, Abu Luhut 2002, page number 785. So I have clearly indicated the examiner, I have copied and pasted this using quotation marks. If you use a quotation, quote it, give the quotation marks, use quotation marks. And then you have to give the surname of the author. I have given the surname of the author, Abu Luhut, year of publication 2002, and the page number. Okay, I have honestly accepted this is copied and pasted content by this author, this particular page. Okay, if you want to quote, you can do it. But remember, maximum number of words within one quotation is 30 words. Here to here, one quotation, maximum number of words is 30 words, not more than that. Okay, provided that you use number of quotations like this in your assignment. You have got 3000 word assignment and you define who is a transformational leader, who is a transactional leader, who is a democratic leader, who is an autocratic leader. Okay, what is the relationship between leadership and personality type? You define so many things. Every quote is less than 30 words. Once you finish the assignment, take the total number of words within the quotation marks. It should not exceed more than 10% of the total word count. If it is a 3000 word document, what is the maximum number of words you can use? 300 words. If you exceed that, that is plagiarized. Okay. Now, university is giving you an allowance of 10% of quotations, right? Total, every quote should be less than 30 words, but you can use number of less than 30 word quotations up to 10% of the total word count. That is the allowance. But the danger of this one is this. Now, provided that you are given the allowance of 10%, therefore you use 10%, right? If you use up to 10%, your similarity score has already gone to 10%. Okay. Your similarity allowance is how much? 14%. Now you have wasted 10% of that 14% of because of this useless quotation. I call quotations are useless. Why? Because you're inviting for trouble. Use a quotation if it is absolutely necessary to bring a contradiction. Okay, to bring a contradiction, to emphasize something. If it is absolutely necessary, bring a quotation. Otherwise, don't bring quotations. Okay, absolute. Use one or two quotations, that is fine, but don't use up to maximum permitted level of even 10%. Why? Your similarity score is picking up. You got my point? So therefore, use one or two, but don't use excessive quotations even up to the permitted level. Right? What you can do is, your best strategy is not quotations. Your best strategy is you are going for paraphrasing. What is paraphrasing? Using the author's ideas but expressing it in your own words and ensuring the same meaning is conveyed. That is what we call paraphrasing. But paraphrasing doesn't mean converting active voice into passive or passive into active, or changing one or two words and say I have paraphrased. No. Paraphrasing means you read something, you understand, and then you rewrite using your own words. Okay, fully reworded and restructured. Ideal strategy you can do is, if you read something now and write something now itself, still the same structures haunt in your mind. Therefore, same thing will mostly pop up, right? Best strategy is you read something today. When you read, take down some notes. This guy said this guy said this, short notes. Next day evening, looking at your bullet points, you write paragraphs. Because by tomorrow, you have forgotten the original word. Okay? But some students, they don't have something called tomorrow because they are doing their assignment on the last day. Have all the books here and there and take in bits and pieces from everywhere and prepare. No time to do a draft submission because few hours. Directly submit for the final submission. Later on, after 24 hours, they can see, yes, my Turnitin is very high. But by that time, you can't change. Okay? Therefore, ideal strategy is when you read something, if you feel it is important, take down a small note. And later on, looking at your notes, you can write big paragraphs. Okay, that will save you from everything. And your deadline is very short. You don't have time to upload this and wait 24 hours and do number of submissions. Okay, therefore, best thing is at the time of writing, You write it properly, one shot, finish. Okay, otherwise you have to do it number of times, is a waste of time. Now, here I have read Abu Duhud 2002, page number 785, and I have rewritten it in my own words, but still this is not my intellectual property. This is Abu Duhud's. So I have acknowledged it. You can see Abu Duhud 2002, page number is not mandatory. If you like, you can give. So I have to acknowledge it because this is not my intellectual property. And when you acknowledge like this, when you give citations like this, you will receive more marks. Why? Your examiner understand that you have read widely. That is why you have bring these things. Okay. Therefore, more quotations, more citations, more references like this, more marks you will receive. This shows you have read widely. Right? Therefore, you write in own words. There's no limit for this. Software can't capture for sure. Right? But always acknowledge. Okay. If you like, you can bring, number of authors things into one thing. Okay. Right? Like this person says something like this, while these guys say something like this, contrasting these guys say something like this. That shows you have read the concept, you know everything of that. That is called synthesizing. So you will receive more marks. Therefore, even though you write in your own words, what you should do, you have to acknowledge the original author, which will definitely give you an advantage in terms of your marks, right? Now, this is an example. I will read only the first line. The world's most famous submersible, Alvin, is due to be replaced by 2010. I have directly copied and pasted this thing from day 2008, page number 223. Now here, I have reproduced in two ways. First one is plagiarized example. What I have done is, the last two words of the first sentence I have taken at the beginning. All other words are the same. This is clear plagiarism, change in the word order. But if you look at this, you can see 2010 will be a good year for underwater scientific discovery as Alvin, the renowned submersible that has pioneered deep sea exploration, will be replaced. Same idea, but in complete new words, fully reworded and restructured. Software can't capture. But I have respected the original author, giving the citations there, day 2008. This is what we need. Read, understand, reproduce in your own words. Software cannot capture. Okay. But now plagiarism is something you can completely avoid now. Why? Because your university is allowing you to upload and check your similarity. Okay. 5 years before, the university did not give this sort of opportunity. Direct submission, no checking. But now they are giving you. So therefore, what you should do is, once you finish your work, you do a draft submission and see what is your similarity. If it is high, change. You have the highlighted content. Change those things, resubmit. Once it's come down to like 5-6%, then you can finally submit. Okay. Therefore, this is something you can completely avoid. Got my point? Completely you can avoid it. Right? My next concern is the biggest concern now. That is AI contribution. Okay. This is something very much alarming. Because all the academics, this is a growing concern of all academics, because the students use AI text generative softwares, including ChatGPT, Quillbot. Okay. So various softwares, Google Translator, okay, use various softwares to get your work done. If you use such software to do your assignment, that is third party writing. Who is the third party? AI is the third party. Okay. Your AI contribution is something you cannot see, but we can see. Only the markers can see it. Now you can see the similarity and you can sort it out. But AI percentage you can't see. It can be viewed only by whom? Only by the marker. Therefore, you can't find out what your AI score is even after the submission. How to avoid? Avoidance is very simple. Don't use any AI softwares. That's it. Very simple. Don't use it. If you take, now there are 32 softwares available to do academic work. You can get any work done by AI now. 32 softwares available, out of which 14 are given to you free of charge. If you need latest research and all, you have to pay and get it, right? Recently, myself, Dr. Zaida Sultana and Andrea Holder, we three did a paper for UK universities. The impact on AI tools on academic assessments in postgraduate level. There also what we suggested in our research was to change the assessment types, because you can't now stop people using AI. They are using AI is life hour. Okay, so what we suggest is let them use it, but we change the assignment type. Okay, this is a huge problem. Please refrain from using any of those softwares in your academic work, because definitely you will be caught. Then you will be invited for Viva. Viva will be conducted by 3 academics. 3 senior level academics will question you on your work. When you were doing those work, you look at so many things and write, right? But when you're answering the questions for the panel, no work, just answer. They are questioning like nothing. Okay, I'm an investigator for few UK universities for AI related cases. For the last year, I have investigated into about 300 cases. And I have failed about 60% of students that I have vivat. I failed. Okay. And about 40% I have passed, with agreeing with my other panel members, because it's a 2 out of 3 has to agree. So I passed about 40% of students as well. Those 40% of students, actually, they have been caught for this sort of issue because of negligence. Some of them, most of them, they say, I wrote this one, but I wanted to improve my English. English is my second language. It's not my mother tongue. Therefore, to improve English structure and all, I use ChatGPT or Quillbot to improve it. Or I use Grammarly to improve it. Grammarly is also AI generated. Okay. So once you do that, what happens? It flagged as 100% plagiarized, because you have exposed your entire document to that particular software. Actually, what we need is, this is not an English exam. This is a management exam. As long as we can read and understand what you say, we know this is not our first language. This is not everybody's first language. We know that. But as long as you've written something that we can understand, people give you. Marks allocated for the language is 10%. Remaining 90% is for the other work. But language has to be something that we can read and understand. As long as it is there, we will do that. Trying to polish the language, and if you go for AI, so that will be a disaster. And unfortunately, most of those students can speak very good English. Okay. Unfortunately, they can speak very good English. I ask, why? Why have you used? Because you speak good English. So I want to improve it and make it more perfect language. Now, perfect English, I mean, average English is better than perfect AI generated English. Okay. Therefore, please refrain from using any AI text generative softwares, because those things will have a very painful experience for you. Results are held, call for Viva, face the Viva, then response for the nails, so many stories. Okay, avoidance is very, very, very simple. Don't use it. But sometimes there are cases, I'm just giving you some examples. Some of you use your office laptops. Okay. And the companies, some companies, they want to monitor your work in your software. You have, I know. Now then, whether you know it, whether in your knowledge or without your knowledge, they access your computer using AI technology and check what you do. If you have your assignment also in that laptop, that will be taken through the AI generation. So when you go for the assignment, 100% flagged up. You didn't use. That is the danger if you are using office laptops. If you know that it is monitored, so please, if it is possible, disable them, or else you use a different computer to get your work done. Okay, because I have come across such cases as well. The student is very genuine. Student is very genuine. But the reason is that sort of issue. Okay, you are responsible for your data. Right? You can't say, this happened, that happened, because at the end of the day, you submit your work and we take that one. Right? So therefore, being very fair to the student and for the academic level integrity. So we have to make a decision on that. Right? Therefore, please refrain from using any AI text generative tools. Because sometimes some practices are quite The student is innocent, but sometimes, you know, they are quite, what do you call, very unethical. So I'll give you one example. Now, after a induction like this, some time ago, one gentleman spoke to me after the induction and said, Doctor, you are asking me to do so many things, right? Paraphrasing, synthesizing, 3,600 words, so many things. But for the last 25 years, he has done his undergraduate degree 25 years before. He's CEO of one of the big companies. He said, for the last 20 years, I have signed and said approved, rejected, and my signature. Now, writing 3,600 using all these things is a very big challenge for me. I don't know whether I will be able to do that. But I want to learn new things because I'm not looking for a career progression because I have come to the climax. So I can't go beyond this. But I want to help my subordinates to help them because I'm not updated. So therefore, I don't want the qualification. Can I come and learn? I said, no, you do the qualification. You can, right? You can come for classes and you do that. It's not big issue. So I asked him to do some work. Initially, he was struggling because he speaks very good English, but difficult to write, you know, because after a long time. First assignment, he got the pass mark like 52 marks, but thereafter he started getting 75, 72, 75. He's a brilliant man with a lot of experience. Only thing is he came back to his normal writing style after one assignment. Now he knows that. So after some time, he gave me a call suddenly and said, Doctor, I have a problem. The university has sent me an email saying that I must come for a viva, and I have done, they have failed me from the assessment because, and they need to an investigation because I have copied from others' work, which I never did. And you know very clearly, I even don't want the qualification. I came just to learn. I never do this. So I asked him to come and meet me here. Then I went to the system and checked, yes, 67% similarity. Okay, 67% similarity. I asked, have you taken some content to your document from anywhere else? He said, no. He said, I have written one of my companies where we are the only company which is doing this sort of a business. Therefore, it's not possible, you know, to take anywhere from. I am the person who is doing this business. Then I asked, have you taken from anywhere else? Or have you shared this work with anybody else? He said, no. Even at board meetings, I never gave any documents. We discuss only. But then I asked, have you shared this business or information of this business, that sort of data with any other party? Then he told me when we started that company about 3-4 years before, I wanted to get the business finance. So I submitted a proposal to the bank, business proposal to the bank to get the financing. Then I asked, I know who is the manager? I said, can you call that manager? In front of me, he called the manager. And I asked him to ask certain questions from the manager. He asked in front of me with the speakerphone. And the manager has done an MBA. I asked what the university is. At the time, this client submitted the business proposal to get the financing. Manager was doing his MBA and submitted this client's proposal for one of his assignments. You see? So I told the students, but anyway, I mean, you are responsible for your data. You have anyway shared this one with somebody else. That is why this has come. University has nothing to do. I know you are a genuine case. But and the other thing is you have to have two commitments, one for your business, one for my unit. You are trying to hit both using one. You can't do that. So now you understand your mistake is not a university's problem, right? Sometimes some student is very innocent, right? But this is how it works. Therefore, remember you are responsible for your data. Don't share your assignments with any other person within your course or after the course. Because this is work we are working with the university. You know, if you want to publish something, your assignment or research, get the university's permission and do it. Otherwise, it's a problem, right? So don't use whatever you have written for one assignment to the other, because then the self-plagiarism will come into play, right? This is how generally the universities work, right? Up to this, if you have got any questions, you can ask me.
Treat our assignments in a way that we can utilize the AI and then
You can utilize the AI to understand a concept, for example. Now you don't know how to, I mean, you want to know more about the concept. So you can get the assistance of that. But if you get only the AI to get that thing done, what happens? It's not your work, but it is completely done by AI. Then you are not learning, but you are using AI technology to get your work done. Then the learning will not take place. That's our concern. You can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Quillbot, and you can get some information about your assignment. That is fine. But don't use them in your assignments. You read them, understand them, and then bring it somewhere here. But if you copy and paste that one, then it's not your assignment, it's done by AI. Okay? I have come across one case where I was teaching an assignment. The student has given my teaching, you have the recording now, my teaching for each point as prompt for the ChatGPT. So I'm telling, do this, do this, do this, this is how it is done, this, and that was given as the prompt. So then the answer is automatically generated because I'm telling all details. Then this is not your work. This is AI's work. We don't mind you use ChatGPT or anything. Use to widen your knowledge. You give some prompts, get information, read, understand the concept widely, but then write in your own words. Right? So otherwise, it's not your learning. It's done by AI. Actually, the software, Turnitin software has a capability of detecting AI thing. So they have developed a capability in the Turnitin itself that they figure out whether it is a machine written words and giving us an indication this is the percentage. That is, unfortunately, you can't see that. But only thing is, if you have not used that one, there's no problem. It will never detect, guaranteed. Yeah. No, it won't be a problem. If you have not actually used it, in two ways you are secure. Number one, 99.9, it will not be captured. 99.9, it will not capture. Because the cases I myself has investigated to over 400, all the cases the students have used it. They have accepted they have used it. Right? If you have not used, number one, 99.9, you will not be caught for this. Number two, if you have genuinely done, in case of a Viva, you will answer the questions correctly. Right? Certain cases I have investigated into, student doesn't know what the topic is. He says, I have done interviews, but in the report he says, I have never done interviews, I have collected data from secondary sources. Okay. Student says, my data analytics uses thematic approach. Dilki, your class starts at 6 o'clock. So you can see, even if you are caught, you should not worry. Ask them to come for a Viva. You can defend. Okay, we don't want you to buy heart those. We want to see whether you know the subject matter. That's it. Sometimes you will not be able to recall everything, but the way you talk, we know whether you know you have done it or not. But when we ask what is the company you use, I will check and tell you I have forgotten it. What is your methodology? Various stories. If the students, I mean, even though similarity was 90%, still we have passed some students. Why? They defended their work. Therefore, plagiarism, very straightforward. If the similarity is high, we will fail you. No repercussion. AI cases, we won't fail you. What we will do? We will give you another opportunity, Viva. Okay, we won't fail you. You can defend it. Reasonably, you responses, we will look after it. But if you're clueless, if you're completely clueless, you don't know what you have submitted, you don't know what is your methodology. So in that case, you will fail, right? That is not your work. All failed cases are like that. But reasonably, student defend the work, we said, so okay, you go ahead. Because we basically make the call using the criminal justice procedure. We need beyond the reasonable doubt, not balance of probability, beyond the reasonable doubt. If we have conclusive evidence that the student has definitely done this, then only we will make the call. But if the student is responding, possibly we'll say, okay, let's go ahead. We'll mark it. We will reduce some marks. but we will not fail the student. So allocate the student, right? Therefore, if you don't use 99.9, don't worry. Now, last submission of ARU, none of the students were caught. Not a single student was caught for this. Okay. So therefore, if you, in a genuine case, like his computer, for example, he was not aware of this concept. He used his computer and got it done. He can defend the work. He can come and say, this is how I did it. Okay. So therefore, don't worry about it. Okay. But try to avoid those circumstances like, use ChatGPT, no problem, to enhance your knowledge, to widen your knowledge, but not to write your assignment. Sometimes certain concept you feel very complicated. You put it to ChatGPT and it will summarize and simplify it, and that is fine. You read it, but don't copy and paste it. Okay. The common knowledge should not be acknowledged. Like, for example, if you say, for example, Oxford College of Business is located at number 100 Thurston Road, Colombo 7, you should not give a reference because they are common knowledge. Okay. Dates of important events, location of a particular place, commonly used formulas, you should not acknowledge them. They are common knowledge. Secondary sources, sometimes when you read some books, for example, when you read Jonathan 2017 textbook, your strategy textbook, Exploring Strategy, Jonathan has used Michael Porter's 1983 generic strategy model. Now, which one you are going to acknowledge? Whether the book you are reading, that is Jonathan 2017, or Michael Porter 1983. Always give the priority to the book you are reading, not the original author. You have to be grateful to the book you are reading. If you have both, give both, but your first priority is for the book you are reading, not the original author. Okay. My colleague Mahesh also will further elaborate and give you a lot of examples in next 3 weeks time to make you better understand writing styles. Okay. So that's what I talked about. Up to this, any AI or you have any questions about AI, plagiarism, only technical problems, those who are joining online? Okay. We expect 60% attendance to submit your assessment. That attendance can be either online or offline. That includes even if you watch your recordings through the system later on, that is also marked as attended. You missed the class, but later on you go and watched it. It is treated as marked. Okay. I always encourage, and if you are, and some of you are, not conveniently come to Oxford College of Business for your lectures, but if it is possible, your lectures are done on hybrid mode. So you can be here and you can be on online as well. So if there's any possibility that you can come to the college, you come, because it's good for networking. You know your batchmates. If you take a class, maybe you have got about maybe 50 students and they are working from different industries, and good for networking opportunities as well. So therefore, I encourage you, if it is possible, to come for classes as much as possible. Good for the lecturers as well. Therefore, I encourage for class attendance. If it is impossible, yes, go for a live recorded lectures. Always, all the lectures will be recorded and stored, and you have access until you finish that unit. Okay, you can access at any time. Right. Not allowed. Shorts are not permitted if you are coming for physical classes. Smoking is prohibited, as passive smoking can be harmful for the others. WhatsApp groups, there is nothing called official WhatsApp groups. Therefore, if somebody has a WhatsApp group, it is not monitored or anything done by OCB or ARU. It is very personal level, because we cannot share your data with anybody else, because we are governed by the UK Data Protection Act. If you are, if you have your personal WhatsApp groups, we have no problem, right? But once you are in a person, any WhatsApp group, once you finish, it is fine, because then you have your network WhatsApp groups. So even recently I went to Dubai and we had about 600 odd students learning in Middle East region, having a WhatsApp group of 645, but they have finished. The thing is, sometimes, some issues like, when you're in a WhatsApp group, your numbers will be shared with their companies to do their promotions. So that sometimes you will start receiving a lot of messages. And sometimes some of them share your data for very dangerous third parties. Like for example, recently one student called me and said, so there's a problem. Everybody has got a message from a party saying that they undertake our assignments. Assignment outsourcing party has contacted all members individually through the personal messages. How did that happen and how the numbers has gone? I said, you're talking about, which group? So everybody in the WhatsApp group. I said, then you have given me the answer also, right? And later I investigated into that and found out one person has contacted outsourcing party and he has agreed for a discount. To get the discount, he has given all the numbers. Right? Then myself and Charminder Ratnai, the other tutor, we contacted that person. We put a message and said that we have reported you to. I just sent a message and I have reported to CID and you are under investigation. Then she's a girl actually. She has sent me, sir, don't do it. I'm a girl. I'm doing this to earn some money. I said, don't do unethical things. Stop this year after. You know that once you go to Facebook, even at HitAd, you have advertisement, right? We undertake your pain in assignments. It's difficult, but at the end of the day, we are doing this program not to have the 3 letters after your name, but to live like a master of business administration student or master of science student, right? If you have the 3 letters, but if you don't have skills, no point, right? Just a certificate doesn't make any sense. So, but I know majority are like that, but some under certain pressures, sometimes students will go for that. And my colleague in UK, Pauling, told me there's another incident where the student has outsourced the assignment. That particular assignment party has charged the student abnormally low fees. Normally, to get an outsourcing task of 3,000 word, there's a price, no? But the price quoted by this party is abnormally low and the student has undertaken. Student has passed also. Okay. And after that, that particular party has contacted the student saying that we have done your work. We have all communication between you and I. We are going to tell it to the university and also your employer that you are cheating everyone unless you pay us 1 million or something. Blackmailing. And also we are going to leak it to the social media that this is how you do it. This is the level we are now. Unfortunate situation. Right? So therefore, sometimes in the WhatsApp group, this is a problem. I mean, as long as you know the risks, no problem. You can have your personal WhatsApp group, but there's nothing called official. That's what I want to highlight. Right. So if you have any sort of academic concerns, your number one, your first port of call is your lecturer. Please tell your lecturer that I have a problem like this, so he will help you. But if you're not happy with the lecturer's response, please escalate it to me. Okay. You can call me. This is my mobile. I'll send you the slideshow. If you call, mostly I don't answer the phone because I'm in classes or researching or something like that. What you can do is don't call again. Send me a text message or WhatsApp message or whatever, right? I'm a MBA candidate. I want to talk to you. So I will call you as soon as I finish that. Okay. So I have responded, whatever the number here, I have responded to everyone. You are meeting your other guys next month's time, right? Previous batch. If I have liked them, you know that this guy will never answer our phone. I always very promptly responded. Right? Next available moment, wherever in the world I am, I have responded to students. So therefore, first talk to your lecturer. If you're not happy with the response, please tell me. I will help you with that. And if anything in terms of administrative in nature, so ideal situation is your talk to student support team. Now you can see the list of support. If you need mitigations, 5-day extensions, talk to Sampath or Sonal. Canvas and eVision problems, when you have after 25th, you want to access Canvas now, our platform. If you have problems, call these guys, Janidu or Sampath. Assignment submission, you can call Sandhya or Roshan. Online enrollment support for payments and other stuff, you can talk to Nuan or Shashika. All other general inquiries, you have a huge, you can call them by WhatsApp or general line, whatever. Call them. If they miss a call, they will call you back. Okay. In case if they don't respond to you within a reasonable time, you can escalate that to me as well. So I'll look after that. Okay. Generally, they are responsive. If not, let us know. If I can't answer one of your questions, which is beyond my control, so I will talk to my colleagues at ARU. They are fully committed to help the students to make sure that they have a proper learning experience. They are very much instantly responding to our queries. ARU is one of the very responsible universities. I have been working with UK universities a lot. Some take a lot of time, but ARU is different. They respond very fast. Okay, and they have developed a system that they very quickly respond to us. Okay, and most of the colleagues are my friends. We have worked together, so can get if we are not able to give you an answer, so and we will get the support from the university and answer you as early as possible. Therefore, if there's anything else, please do let us know. We are here to support you. Right. So tell me if you have any questions. I have finished my work basically right now. So there's very few things I can finish in 5 minutes. If you have got any questions, you can ask me. No questions? Okay. You will have questions when you start assignments. Right. So this is about OCB alumni. We have got a very active student body, Oxford College of Business alumni. So very active in Sri Lanka and also in elsewhere. Because recently also last month there was a New Year festival also in Dubai where the students who have finished our program have organized. I went as actually guest. So we have very strong alumni. So they do a lot of programs like CPD programs, CSR projects, sports events, get-togethers, and so on and so forth. You will be informed about these events later on. One of the CSR projects they have done called Out of Darkness of providing solar panels to education in disadvantaged areas. They established about 300 panels, which won the best CSR project in Asia a couple of years before. And they invite some guest lecturers on leadership to talk to students on how they dealt with difficult situations and so on. Sports events and also donations for hospitals and various other institutions. Providing homes for homeless. So they have done some good work, and it's a good opportunity for networking because we have got about over 30,000 students who have finished degrees with us for the last 21 years. So therefore, it's a big network of contacts. So you're invited to join the alumni, and we'll keep you informed about any program they do new. Right, from my end, that's all. If you have any questions, you can ask me about the program or delivery or certification, graduation or anything. Nothing? Okay. Okay, then with that, so we will conclude for the day. So what happens is now you will receive an email from OCB about your skills workshops, which are going to take place not next week, but after that for the following 3 days, 14th, 21st, and 28th. And thereafter, you are going to start your first lecture for the first subject, except MBA Entrepreneurship and International Business. They will have further 2 weeks delay because of the current cohort is running. And yeah, that's how it's going to work. And your Canvas platform will be set up for you before 25th of June. And things will run as per the schedule without any delay under any circumstance, so that you are sure that you are going to finish the qualification, provided that you pass by the 30th of June next year, right? Okay, I wish you all the very best and hope that you will finish your program with excellent results like our past students. And also thank you very much for tolerating my host voice for 3 hours. And sometimes I might trouble you when you go for assignments. If it is extremely difficult, I might intervene. But as long as they are comfortable and similar to previous ones, so that my colleagues will look after you. Any complications, they will let me know and I will talk to you as well. Okay, all the best. Take care.
Thank you.